Within the college, I full-time lecturer. I lecture over two different courses, the creative broadcast and the music technology. I was brought in to create extra options for people in those courses. It's to broaden the possibilities for work and for integration in a wider entertainment area when you leave here. So you're not just limited to one particular thing, like we'll say camera work, editing. You can move into the wider events area.
What inspired you to get involved in stage event management?
It all started through theatre. I grew up in the centre of town. I mean, literally in the very, very centre of town. And I was very close to the bell table. I went up there, I liked what was happening there. I'd been a few of the fashion and the failures and that. My own mum, she works as a dress designer. So there was always a lot of materials around, and because my dad died when I was fairly young, so I'd be helping her out with stuff. That proved very useful because when I was the young fella hanging around the theatre, they needed somebody to look after the tabs and the curtains and the draperies around, and of course I was familiar with that from home. And so before I knew it, I ended up being the fella that was fixing all these bits and pieces. And eventually I moved into lighting and that. I did acting for a while, but I didn't enjoy that much. I was working in the bell table for 22 years. I was production manager there, and I probably would still be doing that, only I fell from about 22 feet. The fall itself, I mean, you fall from 22 feet, you're going to get hurt. But unfortunately, when that happened, they were building a circus on stage. It was a play about a circus, basically. And there were pieces of metal sticking up that the chairs would go into. And of course, I fell down them, they went up through me, and they broke a few vertebrae. And basically, I was in bad shape for a few months. What happened then was I was there for 8 months, and I had to create a major career change because I couldn't do the climbing, I couldn't do all the stuff I normally did. That created a great opportunity. It's funny the way life throws a curveball at you sometimes, because even though that was bad when it happened, at least, I'm standing, I'm good, I'm in good shape now, so it didn't end up too bad like that. But also it's how I moved into teaching. So I got a degree from Trinity in philosophy, which wasn't directly related to this, but at least I was familiar with academic discipline. So a job came up here then. They were looking for somebody on a part-time basis to come in and to widen the scope of the courses like I mentioned earlier. I came in initially for just 4 hours a week, and then it just grew and grew and grew. So in many ways the accent was rather fortuitous in a sense, because I found I really, really enjoyed that end as well. And it also gives me an opportunity to still work on theatre, to work on film, to work on music, to work on all the things I enjoy. So it just brought them together nicely in a way I wouldn't have planned. I would never have thought of it myself. No. So it's funny the way things work out.
Did the injury affect you mentally as much as it did physically? It was such a severe injury at the time. I felt the whole world had collapsed from underneath you.
Like when you look back at something like that, memory's a funny thing. It makes you reimagine the situation in ways that it didn't actually happen. But if I think back on it honestly, at the time it was worrying, because if you're lying on your back, and I couldn't move because my spine was exposed. So if you're just lying there looking at the ceiling for several months, and I could only move my mouth and my eyeballs basically, I couldn't move any other part of me. So it gives you a lot of time for reflection. And that can work against you, or it can work for you. And initially it worked against me because I was very frustrated, because I'm a very active person. And I wondered, now, what am I going to do now? This is the end of everything. They had to perform an operation on me. Basically, they didn't know was I going to end up in a wheelchair. Was probably the best option I was looking at. That's what 3 of the consultants said. I didn't like that option because it meant I wouldn't be able to do a lot of things. Basically, I broke 5 fingers as well, and you can see there are 2 of them very obviously broken. I guarantee you wouldn't see the other 3. And they didn't know when I took off the brace whether my back was going to end up like this or was going to end up like this. And so we had to wait until the day, and thankfully it actually was straight. The surgeons had done the job really, really well, but they had no way of knowing until this thing came off. That was actually exhilarating, because I thought, right, at least I can still move, but maybe I want to do more than just go back to what I had. So I actually think overall it was positive. It actually really was. Obviously I went through ups and downs during the time, and great support from everybody around me. But it allowed me then to open up options. You think into it, and then you try and find a positive. And you will find it, and it is there, I've always been the type of person that liked to move through different things anyway. But for the moment, the teaching keeps me busy, and I still do a good few gigs outside as well. I just finished a festival there 2 weeks ago in Kilkenny as well. I like to do that because that keeps the information you're giving current as well. And it also keeps you quite humble because you realise the difficulties that the students are actually having, because you're out there having those same difficulties yourself. So I like to be able to do both. So for the moment, I'm quite busy. I just like to keep it along those lines. But yeah, in time, maybe I'd sit down and I'd actually like to put some stuff together as well. I'm actually finishing off a PhD as well, so that's something that keeps me busy outside of the regular work as well.
You have a great story, history there. You've been through so many, and you have so many options in life you've gone through already and to come. Would you say you're a man of very fruitful wisdom?
I just enjoy challenges. I really do. I like being scared. I like not being 100% sure of things, and then to go and investigate and see A, if I can work my way out of it, and B, to try and get information to prevent me being in that situation the next time. But no matter how much you learn, every day you meet a new challenge and you think, oh, I've never seen that before. I mean, I hate to lose that because I think life would be very, very boring.
Kind of to wrap this all up, would you have any life advice for anyone who maybe wants to go into stage event management, or maybe has come through some tough, difficult times like yourself, or is just one who's kind of unsure in life where to go? Do I just do this job, as you mentioned, or do I explore my options and see what's out there for me?
Well, I say the same to anybody as I said to my own family. Do what you enjoy. I actually think it's as simple as that, because to try and do otherwise, it's not going to work out for you. Life is going to be a struggle, life's going to be really difficult, everything is going to frustrate you. Whereas if you do something you enjoy, you're going to throw yourself into it, you're probably going to put in extra effort, extra work, but you're going to reap the reward. And it's where you're going to end up anyway. So I'd say, follow your instincts, your gut instinct, and if that seems to take you in a direction that's contrary to what everybody else is saying, go for it, because that's where you're going to end up.